Ravens flock, the flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So the Ravens just wrapped up day 6 of training camp, and Lamar Jackson is back. He finished the full practice, had a good practice. We'll dive into all the details later. One new key absence today was Zay Flowers, and then I saw him post on Instagram that he was in New York City looking for a cut. So I was like, damn, what is going on? But John Harbaugh spoke on it and said that he was excused from practice for a wedding. So no big deal, no injuries or anything like that. Zay will be back soon. We did have our first injury today. Cornerback Trayvon Mullen fell and landed on his shoulder. He ended up getting carted off. Wishing him a speedy recovery. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries since he's been on this team. I don't even think he's played a lot of meaningful minutes yet. He's just constantly in and out. Today's practice was dedicated to Jacoby Jones. As you know, he recently passed away. His funeral is in New Orleans today, so just thinking about him and his family.
We dedicated the practice today to Jacoby Jones because we got a chance to come out here and do what he loved to do so much. And it really couldn't have been any more fitting than to have almost 50 teams here, youth football teams, including girls' flag teams here, yelling all practice, and you heard them, right? I mean, it was pretty loud out there. Had a little substitution issues, I think, because of the crowd noise. So that was fun. But in honor of Jacoby and his amazing energy and smile and love for the game and love for life, we'll dedicate that effort to him.
The offense did have a much better day today with Lamar Jackson being back, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely heavily involved, ton of catches. I'm excited for this tight end group, man. I'm excited for them to take a step forward in this Todd Monken offense this year and for Monken to use both of them. You know, Likely can create a lot of mismatches, as can Andrews.
I feel like I finally get to show everybody my football knowledge. I mean, understanding, being that chess piece, as I say it, from inline to off the ball to in the slot to out wide to in the backfield, showing coach that as long as I know where I am for that specific play and that specific design, attaching that matchup, I mean, I could be the nightmare that everybody wants me to be, and showing that, I can study the playbook. I know the playbook in and out to be able to tell not only the receivers where to go, where the running back has to go, and we can play as fast ball as possible.
And we also have Charlie Kolar, too. I don't want to forget about him. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely are obviously the main dudes, but Kolar's developing each year, and from everything we've ever seen from him, he's solid. I know he's not Likely and Andrews, but I think he can contribute. I think he's an incredible tight end 3. He could probably be the backup tight end on a lot of teams. So excited to see what Kolar brings this year. And just for this entire tight end group in general, I'm just super excited. We're stacked at tight end. There's no doubt about it. This is the best tight end room in all of football. One of the main highlights from today's practice is the Ravens did a drill where they were down by 5 with 1:20 on the clock, and they had to go 60 yards to score. And Lamar Jackson went 5 of 6 and hit Nelson Aguilar for a touchdown, zipped down the field. It's just exciting to have Lamar back, man. I knew this offense would take a massive leap. The first 5 days of training camp, it was nothing about interceptions. And Lamar did throw 2 more interceptions to Marlon Humphrey today. So shout out Marlon Humphrey. I feel like he's having the best start of training camp in recent memory. And if he's back to his prime self this year, that's going to be huge for this defense, man. Marlon Humphrey is a huge piece, and I'm excited that he's just dominating each practice. But nevertheless, the offense looks tremendously better with Lamar Jackson back there, and I just think that that's only going to improve. This is basically Lamar's first day. I know he came out the other day, 2 practices ago, but he didn't even finish the practice. He was still sick. He missed the following day. So I think I think he's back to normal. His energy seemed high. He was out there catching freaking passes, warming up, and just looked like he had a little extra juice to him today. So I think Lamar's back, and this offense is only going to continue to ascend. If you've been watching the other videos, you know that we've been really locked in on this offensive line battle this season. I think it's the most interesting battle in camp. I won't hammer it too much today in today's episode, but Michael Pierce did have some really good things to say about Andrew Vorhees. I'll just play the clip.
Vorhees is going to be really good. He's just learning and getting back. So Ben has been here, solid as well. So I think it's just the first few days of camp, but filling that role, it takes a while, but also when you go against guys like myself and Trav and brought in, get those different looks and get those opportunities that they never had before, I think they'll grow a lot. So now we're all enthusiastic, and like I said, we just kind of got to see how it all feels out. But no, they're hungry to make a name for themselves, so that's the most important thing.
This Vorhees pick is going to be such a steal, man. I really think he's got the left guard spot wrapped up. Now, we obviously need to see the preseason and stuff play out. He's got to stay healthy. He hasn't played in a year or so there's definitely some questions there, but I think that he's by far leading that battle. And having a guy, a veteran like Michael Pierce, sit there and say Vorhees is going to be really good, I can't be more excited about this pick. Eric DaCosta knocked it out of the park. Vorhees was drafted in the 7th round because of his injury that he sustained at the combine, and then he went on to set the bench record still and got a lot of buzz kind of going. But he dropped to the 7th round, and this is a 2nd, 3rd round grade guy. I really feel like he's going to be our guard for years to come. Now, he does have to stay healthy. Coming back from an injury like that, you're more vulnerable to more injuries, but I think he's a workhorse. And if you got other veterans saying that you're going to be really good this early on, I think Vorhees is the guy, man. And shout out to Michael Pierce for giving us a little insight there. And sticking on the defensive line, a guy I've been talking about throughout the offseason, one of my breakout predictions this year is Travis Jones.
Growth in Trav. He's been making a lot of plays, and I don't mind splitting reps with him as I get older, obviously, but to see him grow, to see him make those strides, and to see I believe he's going to have an amazing year this year, for sure.
I think Travis Jones is going to continue to take more and more reps away from Michael Pierce, and that's not a knock on Michael Pierce. He's just aging and probably declining in production a little bit, and Travis Jones is ascending, developing year after year, and this guy has flashed some greatness on tape. So I'm excited for Travis Jones to get a bigger role this year. I think him in there with Matabike is going to be just a handful for offensive lines, and I'm excited. I think our D-line's absolutely stacked. Our edge is a little questionable, hopefully Owe and Ajabo and guys like that really step up, but that interior of our defensive line is not to be questioned. Travis Jones is going to make a big name for himself nationally. A lot of Ravens fans already know him, but I really think this is the year for Travis Jones, and seems like Michael Pierce kind of echoed that. But that's it for today, guys. It was amazing to see Lamar out there, get this offense moving a little bit more. And I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. As always, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim there where the sense can't tame the untamed.